Well, as the crisis escalates, world leaders have warned Russia there will be serious repercussions if it invades Ukraine. US Secretary of State John Kerry accused Moscow of an incredible act of aggression, warning it could face sanctions and economic isolation. Britain has joined other European nations in boycotting preparations for the G8 summit in Sochi, while David Cameron said British ministers would stay away from next week's Paralympic Games. Harry Smith reports.
We are on the brink of the disaster.
Russia must stop its military activities and its threats.
The sovereignty and the territorial integrity of Ukraine has been violated.
Strong words, but so far that's all the world has been able to offer in response to Russia's military takeover of the sovereign territory of Ukraine. The leader of the free world spent 90 minutes on the phone to Vladimir Putin last night. Both sides agree it did nothing to alter the situation on the ground. America's Secretary of State later threatened serious repercussions.
This is an act of aggression that is completely trumped up in terms of its pretext. It's really 19th century behavior in the 21st century. You know, he may be able to have his troops for some period of time in Crimea unless he resolves this. But the fact is he's going to lose on the international stage. Russia is going to lose. The Russian people are going to lose. He's going to lose all of the glow that came out of the Olympics, his $60 billion extravaganza. He is not going to have a Sochi G8. He may not even remain in the G8 if this continues. He may find himself with asset freezes on Russian business. American business may pull back. There may be a further tumble of the ruble. There's a huge price to pay.
As he left RAF Northolt for talks in Kiev today, Foreign Secretary William Hague said Russia should be left in no doubt that the Western allies are united in their condemnation.
Our response is diplomatic and peaceful, and it should be. That is our response. But it will be a very united diplomatic response, not just from the Western world, I think, but from many other countries in the world.
As one of the signatories to the 1994 Budapest Memorandum, Britain, along with the USA and Russia, pledged to uphold the independence and existing borders of Ukraine. It was part of the deal by which the former Soviet Republic gave up its nuclear weapons. But no one has yet said how that promise to Ukraine can be kept. As Ukrainians demonstrated outside the American embassy in Kiev, the only clear action came as Britain today joined France, the US and Canada in threatening to boycott the G8 summit in the Russian resort of Sochi in June. The new government in Kiev remains confident of Western support.
We believe that our Western partners and the entire global community will support the territorial integrity and unity of Ukraine.
Meanwhile, in Brussels, NATO, the world's most powerful military alliance, held an emergency meeting.
Ukraine is our neighbor, and Ukraine is a valued partner for NATO. We urge all parties to urgently continue all efforts to move away from this dangerous situation.
But there seems no chance of NATO turning these words into action on the ground. Critics are already pointing towards Syria as proof that the Allies have little stomach for a fight. The decisions in Britain and in America not to take military action against the Assad regime have been cited by some as giving Putin the signal he could do as he wished in Ukraine. There's little sign that anything the West has said since has persuaded him otherwise.